Hey guys, this is he who knows 10,000 games. And first off, I just want to say that I wasn't planning on milking Diablo Immortal for clicks, but the latest news have managed to piss me off yet again. Congratulations, Blizzard, you've done it. You've done it. I didn't think that it was possible for you to piss me off any further, but somehow you managed to surprise me every damn month. Or week. So I just want to start off by asking this question. Are you high, Blizzard? Are you? What kind of drugs are you on, actually? There is so much wrong with this title that I literally don't know how to start, since my channel wasn't up when the game was released. If there was ever a game that I would pick as the one I hate the most, it would be this thing. It's not even fair to call it a game. It's a slot machine wrapped in a shell of what impersonates a game. Dear God. Diablo may be the Lord of Terror and the Prime Evil, but there is clearly a greater evil than him. Activision Blizzard, the Lord of Greed and Gluttony. So let's dive into this brand new crap fest. As reported by PC Gamer, a number of Diablo Immortal players are suddenly and unexpectedly facing crushing orb debt following what appears to be a massive revocation of eternal orbs purchased from resellers at cut rate prices. Eternal orbs are an in-game currency in Diablo Immortal that can only be earned through the battle pass or with real money purchases. They're important to serious players. Now, I just need to pause here and say that I don't know how you can consider anyone who plays Diablo Immortal a serious player. Because, I'm sorry, the only thing that makes you a serious player in this game is how much money you want to spend. Or how much money you've got. To me, that's just beyond batshit insane. There is no such thing as a serious player because there needs to be a game in order for there to be a player. This isn't a game, it's a slot machine. Stop calling it a game. Moving on. As it said, they're important to serious players, and they're not cheap, ranging in prices from $1 for a pack of $60 to $100 for 7,200. And that's not going to buy you a truckload of cool stuff. 10 legendary quests, which grant better drops from Diablo Immortal's loot boxes, cost 1,600 orbs, while a collector's cosmetic set goes for 1,500. I mean, everybody on YouTube has already done a video when it comes to the pricing and monetization of the game, and I'm just gonna say that I agree with them. With every single person that ever criticized the monetization system. Whatever they said, I agree with it. It's beyond greedy, beyond immoral, beyond insane. Okay, now that we're done with that, let's move on. It says, understandably, some players wanted to avoid paying full price for their orbs, so they turned to third-party resellers offering orb bundles at sometimes significant discounts. Resellers typically acquire orbs by purchasing large numbers of them, generally with stolen credit cards, then offer them for sale through external websites. Some will actually log into your Diablo Immortal account after you give them the login details, and purchase the orbs directly on your behalf, claiming to be doing so with unused gift cards, although again, stolen credit cards are usually what's being used. So here we can see that it's not just the players base that's being hurt, it's also the people whose identities and credit cards were stolen as well. So we actually have an element of criminal activity present here. Innocent people are being hurt through the resale of these orbs. Which is just sad and shameful. But unfortunately it is the reality for many games that use monetization models like this. Let's keep on reading. On Wednesday, player XP01 said that large numbers of players in the Southeast Asia chat were trying to sell their accounts, presumably because they'd purchased large number of orbs from resellers and were trying to unload their accounts and get their money back before they got hit by the ban hammer. Now, this is a very weird phenomenon for me because in China and South Korea, as far as I know, the two most important markets when it comes to monetization, there is a culture of spending money on everything within a game. Now, I'm not trying to pass off judgment on the people in Asia who want to spend money on the games, but don't you guys think you'd be better off if you got the same free shit we do in the West? I mean, don't you also deserve the same respect from the companies that sell you their products? That's just my opinion, but I think you'd be better off. For example, Diablo 3 in China has an online store that sells wings and some other cosmetics, I believe. Over there, they consider microtransactions of this type to be a perfectly normal thing. And what is happening right now, in my opinion, is that the whole gaming industry is trying to teach the gamers in other parts of the world to adopt the same culture of money spending on every single thing within a game, just like in the Asian market. Now let's keep on reading. Diablo Immortal players have been calling for Blizzard to do something about third-party resellers and those who make use of them for quite a while prior to this. This is a huge issue. On Eternal Conflict, the leader of Elegy, Greedy Pie, made money off his guild, knowing the risks of them being banned with these illegal orbs, Katsu wrote in an August 22 post on the Blizzard forums. So it's been a while. It goes on to say that so many honest players who spent more than 1k or less have quit spending money and left the game. Now, I want to take another pause here and say that this may actually be the only good thing to come out of this. People quitting Diablo Immortal. And I'm sorry guys, I don't want you not to have fun, but I still think that you're being exploited by this game. I want you to keep having fun, but not to have to give them so much money. It goes on to say, plus not only whales. Now, how funny is it that there is actually a usable, acceptable term for people who spend obscene amounts of money on a video game or on anything when it comes to company profits? I first heard this term being used by some law firms. When somebody lands a huge client, they're being called a whale. So that in and of itself is a bad thing because it shows the company values. You are judging and estimating success based on how much money you can get out of a certain client. Not how good your service is or how good of a product you make, but how big of a client you have to screw over. It goes on to say, also free-to-play players leave DI because it is really hard to find 4 people for dungeons. Please Blizzard, do something before DI fails. Now, I hate to break it to you, but Diablo Immortal failed before it launched. The moment they made the decision to monetize it this way, it was not a game, therefore it was a failure. Free-to-play players leave DI. Well, of course they're gonna leave. What the hell else are they gonna do? Stick around or maybe try to earn more money just so they could waste it on Diablo Immortal? I'm sorry, but even the best games on Earth don't deserve this much money from one single person. And in this last paragraph it says, using external resellers violates Blizzard's EULA, and so rather than just clamping down on resellers, Blizzard also apparently disappeared orbs that were purchased through them. That's left a lot of players, particularly whales, deep in the hole. Redditor, number piece 3031, said they had spent $500 on cheap orbs and following the revocation now sit at minus 120,000 orbs. So, you still spent $500 on the cheap orbs, which means that it would have been $5,000. I don't know which is worse, that somebody got screwed over for their $500 or that Blizzard wants to screw you over for $5,000. I honestly can't say which is worse. To me, both should be illegal. $5,000. Jesus. Now we come to a really funny part. I want to spend money and I'm a hardcore player, they wrote. I'm sorry, what does hardcore player mean in these terms? You're a hardcore player because you spend money? Are you a hardcore player because you're just so much better at the game than everyone else? Okay, what makes you better than everyone else? The fact that you spent more money. You're not a player, you're a hardcore addict. You can't... Sorry guys, sorry. It's just so frustrating. Spending money does not make you a gamer or a video game player. Spending money makes you a consumer or an addict. When I was a kid, my mom and dad used to buy me video games. Did that make them video gamers? It goes on to say, the problem is this game gives you next to nothing for free. You got that right. Well, you get the software that enables you to pay money, which is Diablo Immortal. And they go on to say, to put it simply, currency in this game is too damn expensive and it's near impossible to make any progress without it. Again, completely right. I could spend 10 hours playing every day as a free-to-play, and even after a year, likely would have no more than 1,000 residents. Again, all true. So, I have to put it to you. Why do you still play it? If you like the game, just get D3, which is $60, and play. No money, no more investment. You just get to play the game, level up, grind out the gear, make the builds, and have fun. Don't do this to yourself. Nobody should do this to themselves. Don't let yourself be exploited. Even when you like the game, it's still exploitative. Let's move on. One player named Shia said in an interview with Diablo Immortal streamer JT is all business that they'd lost nearly 2.5 million eternal orbs with a regular market value in excess of $30,000. Okay, putting the absurd amount of money aside, it goes on to say that players with negative orb balances are apparently barred from group activities like joining parties or taking part in rifts and dungeons, and also cannot access the in-game market. In the eyes of some players, though, that punishment is insufficient because they can still take part in the PvP battleground, where they'll still have an advantage thanks to the orbs they've already used. There are claims that some accounts with negative orb balances have been permanently banned for failing to pay the balance back, but those reports are currently unverified. So, several major problems here. First, Blizzard is actively blackmailing people into giving them money so that their accounts don't get banned. That's problem number one. Problem number two is that Blizzard is also exploiting those same banned players by allowing them to participate in the PvP. Because, as it was said many times by other YouTubers, when you get your ass handed to you in a PvP battleground, you're gonna wanna spend a bit more money just to get a bit more power. So, instead of banning them, they're exploiting them and trying to hook other people who are just regular bystanders into this entire mess. And in the last part, so allegedly Blizzard is banning accounts, but only if they don't pay the money back for the balance which is in the negative. That's called extortion, no other word for it. They could sue the players that have abused the system, which would be illegal, or they could ban them. They decided for neither option, instead they decided for straight up good old blackmail. Just shameful behavior from a so-called video game company, which I'm not really sure they are anymore. Now I just want to say, guys, I'm sorry if I sound a bit preachy in some parts or judgy. That is not my intent. It just concerns me that an industry I so dearly love is being endangered and that it will one day be completely gone. And I do get very hot-blooded about topics like this. If I've offended somebody, please forgive me. But I just want us to have the best possible gaming experience in the end. And it really pains me to see what has become of Blizzard lately. Well, not lately, in the past decade or so. Video games used to be about having fun, about giving the player an experience they could never forget, be it through story or gameplay. I could start the list of video games and not end until tomorrow of video games which have made me think about my life choices, decisions, because a good video game is as good as any book I've ever read, or a movie, or a TV show. They're just as good when it comes to making you think, making you ask questions, learn new things, new skills, to grow as a person. And it hurts me to see that some companies like Blizzard, EA, and some others are trying to destroy the art within video games. It's all about numbers for them. It's all about satisfying the shareholders and making the numbers go up. This game is one of the most horrible abominations I've ever seen, and it's incredible how much controversy it keeps on generating and for how long this keeps on going. Now I know that other games also have problems of this sort, but I've never seen a video game developer team do things like this. So congratulations, Diablo Immortal. You finally did it. You have somehow managed to become a free-to-play game that's also pay-to-play and pay-to-win for some people. Congratulations. So is this okay? I put it to you, dear viewers. Tell me, what do you think? Is it okay what Blizzard has done with Diablo Immortal? Is it not okay? Please share your thoughts down in the comments below. If you liked the video, please like, share and subscribe. And once again, sorry for the rant, I just needed to get this off my chest. And I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye!